Well, it's an honor and a privilege to be in the Clan Corner, a summer edition. Nice to be back at the Arena. Clan and Braehead Arena CEO Russell Smith joining myself, Murph, and Russ. It has been busy to say the least. I know you're on a little bit of a holiday, but the phone was hopping. It's some people think the off season or the summer is a quiet time. It's anything but quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an urban myth. I think across all professional sports that people think that this is a downtime where you're sort of putting your feet up and you're getting refreshed. This is it's been a very, very busy period for us. There's been a lot of planning that we've obviously gone through towards the end of the season, and then obviously into the summer period. Lots going on in terms of player recruitment, which has all been fantastic. So, and then obviously planning for an amazing season ahead. And also important to mention the huge level of ambition that we have with the arena and fully optimizing the arena. So things don't stop. The phone always rings, and I'm going to take that as a positive.
Yeah, it's when the phone stops ringing is when it's a problem, I guess, even if you are trying to have a family vacation. Let's talk about the fixtures meeting, your first fixtures meeting as the CEO of the Glasgow Clan. Certainly a different sort of setup. I mean, 10 very different business models, 10 different characters, and they're all vying for their pound of flesh, as it were, in the fixtures they want so badly for their team's success. A big thing that you and I and the management team away from the cameras have been talking about is elevate. Yeah. How do we elevate? How do we get to where this team hasn't been? And let's be in all honesty, it's not a shot at way things have been done before, but there's not been a major trophy. So we have been talking about how do we elevate? How do we get on that path? And a big thing was listening to our key assets, coaching staff, Corey Nielsen, Mike Saran, and returning star players. Yeah, the Sidorovs, the Sygos, the Mitchell Hurds. So let's just talk about the fixtures meeting, our fixture list, and sort of the methodology in getting to this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the fixture list and the building of how we approach this season was absolutely not taken lightly. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of conversations that happened before even travelling down to Birmingham to obviously be part of the fixture meeting. You use the word elevate, and elevate is been a word that we use across the management team, and obviously Corey is a absolute key part of that. We're talking about elevating the team. We're talking about how do we elevate the support staff around the team. We're also talking about how do we elevate the business, how do we elevate the supporter experience, and we can come on to that. But specifically talking about the fixtures, where we wanted to get to is that we want to provide a structure that gives the athletes, our prized assets, the best opportunities to succeed and be successful. Rest is an incredibly powerful weapon, and where we landed on was that where possible, and we built out the list, and there's no guarantee that you're actually going to get what you want when you go into this fixture meeting as well, because as you said, there's lots of different moving parts to that. But the way that we built that was where possible to give a break to the players as much as possible. So moving to a Friday night and then playing on a Sunday, and giving players the rest, specifically when they're at home, which is when we can dictate that rest period, was absolutely paramount to the strategy. That strategy will absolutely give our players the best opportunity to perform at a higher level. And ultimately, what we want to do, and what supporters clearly want us to do as a club, is to win hockey matches. So we've developed the strategy with that ambition and with that aim.
And that, like you said, it wasn't taken lightly. And we weren't necessarily able to communicate exactly what we wanted to do at that point, because you were going into a fixtures meeting for your first time, and Jerry McLaughlin, you guys went down there hoping to be able to get this strategy across the line. And this strategy was developed with the coaches, with the athletes, and with senior management.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't something taken lightly, and we weren't sure that we would get all the Fridays we wanted, or we weren't maybe thinking we could get the total implementation of this new strategy. Luckily, we were somewhat successful in doing so, and then we communicated as quickly as possible. So again, I guess the message is these things aren't taken lightly, and it's about winning. It's not about upsetting anyone's schedule or what had happened before, but it's about, okay, how do we elevate to get to that point of actually be challenging for trophies, challenging for cups, getting to playoff final weekends? And what we kept hearing from players that are returning, and again, star players like Sidorov, Saigo, rest.
Yeah,
playing
100%.
on a Friday might be better, and then traveling late Saturday or early Sunday morning, as opposed to winning an overtime game here and then having to get right on the bus and go to Guildford or whatever. So that rest day where we can control it, paramount, and not taken lightly to make these changes.
No, absolutely not. And the first opportunity for us to communicate that is when we get the go ahead from the league to be able to release the fixtures. We're not in control of that, and that's a league wide decision which we absolutely stand by. So yeah, like you say, the strategy was developed. There was no guarantee that we're going to get that. We're delighted with the fact that we're able to achieve what we set out within our internal meeting. And to be able to support the wants and needs of the business and ultimately to protect our players, which are our prized assets. I mean, I think it's also, rest is so important in terms of injury prevention as well. And I think, I mean, we play 66 games, it's for me, and obviously I've been involved in various other professional sports, this is the heaviest schedule of them all. So where possible, we need to be able to put in prevention measures to be able to protect the players, and I think we've done that.
Also important to note that the ownership was involved in this as well.
100%.
Because it makes, I mean, not playing on a Saturday, maybe playing on a Friday, you have to have ownership's buy-in. And questions were asked, questions were answered. This is feedback from players, from coaches, and he was fully supportive of, well, if this makes it more likely that guys don't get hurt, guys aren't tired, and maybe we get 4 or 5 more wins on the back of that, then
Absolutely.
This is the right decision to make. You talked about injuries and injury prevention. One of the real big positives from this busy summer in your office, and when we all talk as a management group, is the expanded medical team, player welfare. So it's not just the change in schedule. Maybe touch on some of the changes that have been made to the off-ice medical professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that was one of the areas that Corey, Mike, and myself discussed at length pretty early on when I came into the organisation. Was, look, how can we provide additional support to the first team, and the medical provision, the sort of physio area, sports nutrition, sports psychology, player welfare is essentially was a real key priority for us and focus. So again, with the support of our ownership, we've been able to expand the support services around the team. And again, that will provide us with significant opportunities to enable our players to play at a much higher level than what they have previously. So we have a new sports therapist and physio team in place. We have a new head of medical, Jenny Graham. Jenny is a rock star. She has headed up and been part of the Scottish women's football team, Glasgow City women's football team. She was part of the Scottish Commonwealth team as well as the Sports Institute as well. So we're really, really excited about what she will, the structure that she will put in place to be able to support our players. We also have Andy White from Athlete Focus. So Andy, he's been working with the team for probably 6 months. But what we have unlocked with Andy is more of his services. So Andy will not only be providing sports sort of strength and conditioning, he'll also be working with us on sports psychology, on sports nutrition, and ultimately on the whole player welfare cycle, really, again, to make sure that we're performing at the highest level.
Key assets. If you don't listen to your key assets, whether you're running a pub or a professional hockey team, you need to listen to the people that are in it. And certainly as a management group, as ownership, the players and the coaching staff have been listened to in some of these changes, albeit maybe different and will take some getting used to. As far as fixtures and all that, were made with the best intentions for the players, and ultimately wins. And in saying that, I think it's kudos to everyone, because we just came from an all staff meeting where everyone is bought in to that winning, getting on that road. And just talk about the staff, because the staff don't get a lot of time off in the summer either, because you talk about bumping up events and all like that. I think the behind the scenes staff have really answered the call.
Yeah, I mean the off ice team, for me, again using the word rock stars, they absolutely are. I mean, their passion, their dedication, their absolute commitment to the club and also to the arena is second to none. This, as I said before, is an extremely busy time for us. Once you get into the season goes. So you're off.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah, you're off. But at this opportunity, it's about, right, okay, well, let's sit down, let's develop the strategies, let's develop the objectives, let's develop individual KPIs. And ultimately, the strategy and the ambition is that we all want to be successful. You know, like, we all want to deliver success for our supporters. And it's an amazing team to be part of. They're all massively passionate, and like I say, I can't talk highly enough of them. I think it's also fair to say is that we're a growing team as well, and there isn't a huge amount of people that are behind the scenes here, but more success on the ice and more events that we can bring into the arena, which is obviously a key focus as we move forward, not just for this year, but completely move forward as a business. We need more people to be able to come in, and we're working with some really interesting partners as well, industry experts.
Exciting stuff, actually.
Yeah, really, really exciting stuff, so that we can go a lot quicker as well. So over the next few weeks, you're going to see and read about lots of really exciting announcements connected to live music, connected to family entertainment, to connected to more sports that are going to be coming into this arena in 2026. So we're in the last 6 months we've done a hell of a lot, and the pace is just going to continue to pick up, and that's what's really exciting. That's what certainly gets me out of bed in the morning.
Well, we want more people in this wonderful facility, right? The ice plant is in now, the jumbotron is in now, like all these things that sort of lagged a bit last year, they're done. So now it's the next step, that next elevation. And certainly we want more people to see it on TV as well. Behind the scenes, a lot of talk, yourself and I and the Premier Sports Group. We've got 3 confirmed TV dates.
Yep.
We are going to try, we wanted 3 last year. Due to some technical issues and some things that needed upgrading, we only got the 1. And then we did try and make good by doing the playoff final, grand final, which was a classic, obviously, on Premier Sports. This year, we're going to try and get those makeup games. So we're hoping right now to get another 2 or 3, perhaps, TV dates. We're hoping to get up to 4 or 5, 6 TV dates. That's all going on in the background. So there's a lot of positives for both the arena and the club, and a lot of people working hard to kind of, as you say, elevate. Are you excited with the direction? I mean, it doesn't feel like you've been here that long, but then it feels like you've done a lot in that time. So you said that's what gets you up in the morning. You must be happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. I mean, it's testament to the team that again are they're the heartbeat of the club. I mean, they're the people that keep the show on the road. It's we've done a lot, we've changed a lot. We have a very clear strategy on what we want to achieve as a club and as a business. And like I say, where we need support to bring in industry experts to allow us to go quicker, to be able to achieve our ambitious goals a lot quicker, then we've done that. And I'm excited. I'll be excited when the announcements go out on that over the next few weeks. But yeah, ultimately, where we've got to within the last 6 months, I'm really pleased with. But it's just a start, you know. And I think what you mentioned there about the backing that we have from the ownership and obviously for Premier Sports really stands us apart. Because by going onto that platform, that increases our opportunity to reach out to a new group of sponsors and partners as well that are interested in broadcast awareness and TV engagement opportunities. So again, we're really excited about that. We're having lots of really positive conversations. We're delighted with the backing that we've had once again from our amazing range of sponsors and partners who have all committed to next year, which again we never ever take for granted, but we are absolutely delighted with the support. And also just a special mention to all of the supporters, all of the season ticket holders. That what we're doing is ultimately for you guys. I'm absolutely delighted with the fact that we've had record number of season tickets. So we're now at a capped number of 2,200. We've never reached that number before, which is fantastic. And Challenge Cup bundles, which have obviously now gone to general sale. We've had the highest number of sales for Challenge Cup for the Challenge Cup so far. So, and that's only going to build in terms of excitement, and obviously as we head towards the start of the season, which we're all super excited about.
Yeah, thanks to the Purple Army. They've, as they always do, they get behind the signings, they get behind the coaching staff. And now that things are being clearly communicated, now that we've been able to communicate about some of the strategy about Fridays and Sundays and all that, hopefully people will understand that it's with the players in mind and winning in mind. Winning is so important. That first trophy, I think, would be such a wonderful moment for all the Purple Army and anyone wearing purple on the ice. Let's talk about on-ice upgrades, because Corey and Mike Serrant have been doing a great job. I mean, Sammy Oitacalio was someone who was heavily sought. Braden Burke is heavily sought by several clubs in this league. And I think Corey said on a recent Clan Chat, yes, he's calling agents, but a lot of agents that maybe weren't calling him last year are now calling him this year. So something's building. There feels like some of these signings are leading us to, again, that elevation point where we're going like this when it comes to recruitment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that goes back to the being very clear on the strategy. It's how do we elevate? And that word we're going to continue to use this year. So you're going to hear from me.
We'll get t-shirts done.
Yeah, we're going to get t-shirts done. We're absolutely going to get t-shirts done. But yeah, no, we were very clear on that, and Corey and Mike are massively experienced in being able to speak to the right network, get players. I think what's been fantastic is actually players buying into the level of ambition that we have as a club, and I think it's testament to him and to Mike that agents are now bothering him, which is brilliant. So it's great. So we're really pleased with the roster that we've managed to accumulate so far, and we've got some really exciting announcements coming very shortly.
I think patience is key, and speaking with Corey, said he's being diligent but patient. Those last few puzzle pieces are so key to, again, get to that promised land, if you will. There's some exciting pieces. Close. There's one that is done. There's a few that are close, and Corey's working away in the background there. A lot to be excited about. In that all-staff meeting we just came from, where everyone is so positive, despite the rain has returned after a bit of a heat wave here in Glasgow. The whole getting the ice in early, bringing teams in from other leagues as part of your preseason package, and then ultimately off to Germany. There's a lot before we drop the puck officially on September 13th. There's 4 great games here, and then some great games in Coffburn. So again, as the preseason goes, this is new ground and wonderful, exciting ground.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we've obviously welcomed teams here since 2019, which is 6 years ago. I mean, that's crazy. But it's, again, if we didn't have the investment that the ownership have put in terms of the new ice plant, then we might have been going elsewhere to start the season and putting in the ice a lot later. This really gives us a jump start on preparation. Obviously, the team will be coming in in the next few weeks, and we're all really excited to welcome the team here. But yeah, the preseason games are going to be awesome. I know that the Purple Army will turn out in huge numbers for all 4 fixtures, which again will be fantastic to welcome everybody back. And it's their opportunity really to see these our fantastic returning superstars as well as our new stars skate onto the ice for the very first time. So yeah, we're all excited about it, and I know that the Purple Army will be delighted when they see their team skate out under loads of fireworks during our game day
Lots of
experience.
pyrotechnics, yeah.
Absolutely.
And certainly the ticket packages we've discussed that information. So watch this space about some of the exciting information you're talking about events, more sports, and certainly about the preseason ticket packages. We've got a family day coming up here, which I think is a great idea. Courtney, our merchandising manager, F&B Ross, they're pretty excited about it. Like there's a lot going on January or July 26th. We won't talk about January 26th yet. July 26th. I mean, that family day, that's going to be a great day out as well. And the first hour, I think there's like free grub for the season ticket holders again. So
yeah, no, exactly. And I think, I mean, this is something again that we wanted to introduce this year, just so that supporters can actually come in and experience being in the arena. Obviously, before we put the ice down, there's obviously opportunities to be able to sample the new food range that we're going to be bringing in this year into the arena. And loads of different activities for all the family to get involved in, whether that's face painting, inflatables, and no, it's going to be a fantastic day and a nice way to kick off the season.
And nice to get people back into the building and get them excited about the preseason. I'm excited about the preseason. I'm really excited. I couldn't go to Coffburn last year because I had to do the Olympic qualifiers for Great Britain for Premier Sports. So it'll be both of our first trip to Coffburn. But everyone who went last year said it was an absolutely cracking way to start the season. So are you excited about that? I mean, it's a way to see how they operate in their arena and maybe take some ideas from Germany. So an exciting trip in prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the trip was really successful last year, and I think that's what we're excited about again. Being able to play obviously teams at a different standard as well, I think is going to be really good for us and a real good test ahead of our first Challenge Cup fixture against Fife, which obviously we're very excited about. But yeah, I mean, an away trip is always good fun. So yeah, I'm sure again everybody will enjoy that.
The Purple Army, who did go last year in the hundreds, really excited to go back. So again, when the invite kind of came in, and despite the fact it takes some organization and some let's be honest, money and all that sort of stuff, it was a no-brainer, wasn't it? And again, ownership really supportive of going, get back there and maybe win it this time.
Yeah, exactly, and it's all part of the puzzle. So, and again, bringing teams across, obviously from Denmark and from France, it's massively important in terms of our preparation for what we want to be a very successful season for us. So yeah, it's all just part of the jigsaw, and all part of a very clear strategy that we developed a few months ago now.
When you look at the 6 months, and when you and I first spoke, when you came into the building, you said, I need to learn hockey quickly. We'll be asking questions. Corey, like all these people to pick the brain. Have you been watching movies? Do you think about hockey when you leave Braehead Arena? Like it's a bit of a drive back to your house, and you're thinking, I've got this, like movies, TV shows, documentaries. How are you brushing up on your hockey knowledge in the off season?
Yeah, so lots and lots of YouTube, which is great. I think that if I was to pick a favorite hockey film that not just myself enjoy, but my kids enjoy as well, is Slapshot. Obviously with the wonderful Paul Newman starring in that. So yeah, no, I would say Slapshot is probably the all-time favorite at the moment.
The game has changed a lot, but the sentiment remains the same, right? If you want to win, bring in a guy like a Newman, right? Bring in Paul Newman. You got to have a Newman. So I think the last 6 months are just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And there's been some successes. And I think back to the playoff in Sheffield. I mean, we were in a whisker getting to the playoff final weekend for only the second time in history, which still kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
That the Purple Army's only had that representation once, and that's something, part of that elevation. We really want to be in that showcase event. I mean, sometimes it's a crapshoot when you get to that point, but we were within a whisker. Is it a situation, I think both you and I talked about, we're so close, it leaves you wanting more, doesn't it? And the returning players, some of them have said, I'm coming back because we felt like we were so close to getting there and doing something special.
Yeah, I mean, I think that moment really hurt. And I think what the opportunity then, when we then went down to Nottingham, and you're then watching the playoff final weekend rollout, which is an incredible event, and for me to experience that first time, I mean, it was brilliant seeing the whole city basically come to light for that weekend, and groups of fans sort of mingling with each other. And to be honest, I don't think you can get that in any other sport. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Where we were disappointed, all of us, was that we weren't there. Okay, so ultimately what we are doing, and going back to all the decisions that have been made, is that we want to win, right? As Glasgow Clan, we want to win, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a painful off season for me, because I think that I've got some good friends in Nottingham, Chris Ellis, and people who do the media there, and they went off into the summer as champions, so the off season doesn't feel as incomplete. And despite all the cool things that are happening in the preseason, we're close. We're close to being back. But I think that those halcyon days are ahead, and they're within grasp. And like you said, some of these decisions like changing a fixture or whatever, they're not made lightly. They're made with that exactly within winning. So I know you're busy. I'm sure your phone is going off in your pocket as we speak. I'm sure Corey's trying to get in touch with you. There's players trying to get in touch with you. I know my phone is beeping over there. Maybe a final message to the Purple Army before we sign off on this. This is a fun edition of Clan Corner. We're going to be doing more of that now that we're back into the building and I'm over and all that. But a message to the Purple Army as we get into the dog days of summer.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just about thanking the Purple Army for their support, for their continued support. We're all really excited to welcome you back into your home, which is Braehead Arena, and we can't wait for that puck to drop and for that slap shot to be smashed into the back of the net, and for us to win that first game.
Yeah. ClanIHC.com. Keep on top of all of our socials. Keep on top of all these new great press releases and exciting bits of news. But for Russ Smith, I'm Aaron Murphy. Keep your head up and your stick on the ice. We'll see you at Braehead Arena real soon. If you want to win, bring in a guy like a Newman, right? Bring in a Newman. You got to have a Newman.
Newman! Work out here. Chance Friday.